Yo, you know that person, always in the comments, always watching your stories, but their own page, ghost town, 0 pics, 0 posts, just football. No selfies, no gym pics, no soft life posts. Their profile picture is still that gray default circle from like 2015. And you low-key wonder, what's actually going on with them? Here's the thing. Science actually has answers. 5 of the dopest psychology books ever written explain exactly why and what they say. It hits different. Let's get into it. Ethan Kross wrote a whole book called Chatter About the Voice Inside Your Head, that little narrator that never shuts up. Guess what? Non-posters? They've already handled that voice. See, most of us post to silence that inner voice. We need the comments to say, "You look good," because on our own, we ain't so sure. That's called seeking external validation, and it's low-key exhausting. But non-posters, they've done the inner work. Their chatter is already positive. They don't need your likes to feel like that girl or that guy. Their own voice already told them they're valid. Kross calls this self-distancing, being able to step back from your own emotions and talk to yourself like a friend instead of a critic. Non-posters are out here being their own hype man, daily, for free. Bottom line, their inner chatter is already working for them, not against them. They don't need 500 strangers on the internet to confirm what they already know about themselves. That's real self-awareness, no cap. Okay, book 2. Cass Sunstein and Reed Hasty wrote Wiser, all about how groups make dumb decisions together because everyone just copies each other. Sound familiar? That's literally social media posting culture. Everybody posts because everybody posts. Nobody stopped to ask, wait, do I actually want this? That's groupthink in action, bestie. You didn't choose to post. You were peer pressured by an algorithm. Non-posters? They hit the pause button on that pressure. They asked themselves, why am I doing this? Who is this actually for? And when they couldn't answer that, honestly, they bounced. Sunstein says the smartest people in a group are the ones who break from the crowd when the crowd is wrong. These non-posters clocked that the whole posting game was built on comparison and anxiety. And they dipped, quietly, unbothered. In a world running on groupthink, the person who thinks for themselves is automatically smarter than the crowd. Non-posters didn't follow the script. And that's low-key the most independent move you can make online. Book 3 is wild. John Kay wrote Obliquity. The idea that the best way to achieve your goals is actually not to chase them directly. Wrap your head around that for a sec. See? Everybody posting their face every day is trying to be seen, be liked, be known. They're chasing clout directly. And what does chasing clout directly get you? Anxiety, burnout, and a highlight reel that feels nothing like your real life. Now, flip it. The non-poster isn't chasing anything. They're just living their life. And Kay's whole point is, that's exactly how you end up with the best outcomes. Indirectly. Obliquely. On accident almost. People who don't post become more interesting by doing less. Their absence creates a pull. You want to know them more because you know them less. That's obliquity working in real life. And it's kinda genius, no cap. You tried to go viral posting everything and got 47 likes. They posted nothing, stayed mysterious, and somehow everyone's talking about them. Kay called it. Sometimes the indirect path is the only path that works. Book 4. Philip Ball wrote Critical Mass. He basically proved that human behavior follows the same rules as physics. Like social trends are literally avalanches. And posting culture. That's one big unstoppable avalanche, fam. Ball says once a trend hits critical mass, a tipping point, it becomes almost impossible to resist. You feel like an outsider if you're not doing it. That pressure to conform is physics level real. It ain't just in your head. And here's what's wild. The non-posters resisted that tipping point before the avalanche got them. Ball says it takes what physicists call a phase transition, a conscious shift in state. These people made that shift on purpose. Think about it like water turning to ice. One moment you're going with the flow, then something shifts, the temperature drops, and you crystallize into a completely different state. Non-posters crystallized. They changed state before the rest of us caught up. In social physics terms, they're what Ball calls a frozen node. They didn't get swept into the cascade, and because they held their ground, they ended up with something the trend followers never got: stillness, identity, gravity. Okay, last one. And this one is gonna sound kinda deep, but stick with me. Nietzsche wrote on the genealogy of morality and basically said, there are two types of people: those who define themselves from the outside in, and those who define themselves from the inside out. He called the outside-in people slave morality, not in a mean way, just meaning they define their value through what others think of them. Sound like someone who needs 200 likes to feel good about their selfie? Yeah, that tracks. Then there's master morality, people who create their own values. Their self-worth comes from their own code, their own standards. They don't need the crowd to validate their existence. Non-posters, no cap, are walking around in full Nietzsche master morality energy every single day. Nietzsche also talked about the herd instinct, how most people follow the crowd not because they chose to, but because the crowd makes them feel safe. Social media is literally the herd. And the non-poster? They left the herd. Voluntarily. Confidently. That's uncommon energy. The non-poster is not antisocial. They're post-social. They've moved past needing the crowd's approval to feel whole. Nietzsche would low-key be proud. And honestly, in a world where everyone's performing their life for an audience, that kind of inner freedom is the rarest flex. So there it is. 5 books, 5 psychologists. One truth: the person who never posts their photo isn't hiding. They're whole. They figured out something that most of us are still chasing, and they did it by simply opting out. If this hit different, send it to that one person who never posts. They already knew all of this. And if you're out here posting every day, no shade. At least now you know why. See you in the next one.